Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I have titled this video Unlearning the Hustle Culture, whereby we're going to be redefining productivity, money, and self-worth. I chose this video because I am in the midst of this journey, the 65 10K journey, what it actually means and what you have to do to get to that pinnacle or to achieve the goal that you want. So lately, I've been realizing that the way I was raised, I shaped how I show up, especially when it comes to like money, responsibility, and what I thought being productive meant. And honestly, these beliefs were built on the hustle culture. Coming from one of the most, poorest countries on this planet, you grow up when you are at a disadvantage at everything in terms of how you think, your capabilities of, getting inspired. Like, there's just so much, money, family, responsibilities as a man. There's just so much. So right now, I'm on this 65-day journey to make. But what I didn't expect is how much inner work is forcing me to do. I mean, I've done a lot of inner work because to get to this stage, I've really worked my ass off to work on my emotional and mindset growth and self development as well in general. And it's not just about money, but it's about unlearning what I thought success had to look like for me. And in this video, I want to share how I'm redefining productivity, unpacking my money mindset, and learning to find self worth behind doing more. I haven't figured it all out, but I have done a lot of work in the past 1 year, and I am still in the messy of it all, but I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that's why I'm choosing to share, because maybe if you find yourself in this state, I need you to know that you're not alone. I'm just being brave enough to come and share it right now. So you can know that, hey, it's not the end of the world. What you're going through is perfectly normal. And there's someone out there who's going through the same thing. But we're here. Okay. So my mother passed on when we were pretty young, probably at the age of 6, 7. And the world as we knew it completely changed. We had no safety. And when I say safety in terms of like a parent, protecting their child or raising them to be who they're meant to be. So basically, we became the children of the world. We became children of society because we didn't belong to anyone but society. And when I say society, I mean like everyone. So there was no father figure. There was no anyone to kind of like direct you to the North Star in terms of figuring things out, in terms of, what it means to be a man and responsibilities and money and showing up and what it means to work, all those different things. So I had to figure out everything on my own as I grow up, and it absolutely changed me in terms of how I show up or what I thought I was building. Growing up in these households, because we were being moved from one place to another almost every 6 months, because, no one really wanted us. So I had to show up with my twin sister and give them a reason as to why we had to stay with them. That alone created this mindset of like, I need to always to show that I'm working, show that I'm on top of things so that I can provide value through that. In essence, that if they see me working all the time, so cooking, doing dishes, washing clothes, gardening, going to the wells to fetch water. We didn't have like tap water, so we had to go to the wells, to the swamps or the well or whatever it could be to get water. So in that sense, I was always working. So I started pretty much working when I was at the age of 7. No guidance in anything. So that kind of like, transition through for the rest of almost my whole entire childhood and also like, young adulthood. And I didn't realize that because I thought that it was the norm. I thought that like, when you show that you're busy, when you're out there like big busy doing something, it signals to people that you're always working, but you're actually accomplishing nothing. You hate yourself for the fact that you don't have time for yourself, right? So growing up I was told that being productive meant being busy. And all the time, that self worth came from how much, I could handle. So in my home, or rather wherever we stayed, wasn't really celebrated. You know, it felt like, laziness. Money wasn't freedom because we didn't even know what money is. I literally started thinking of money. I saw money as, something that is more valuable than anything, than life itself. I don't know how to put it because I want to kind of like use the right words, but I can't find them. But I grew up seeing that people were dying to just get money, to just provide for their families or provide for themselves, whatever it is. So it put this sense of thing that, money is hard to get. Money, you always have to work harder to get it. But in this essence, because time comes whereby I just felt tired for the past 4 years, 6 years, I felt tired because I've been working since at the age of 6, 7, and I was like, what is the point? There was no love to anything, and I was doing things because I wanted to show my value, like, hey, I'm performing great in school because, this is me, like I'm out here, trying to make things work. But in the essence is I'm losing my train of thought for now, but there was no clear North Star that I had that guided me to what I was supposed to do, if that makes sense. So in this reality that I'm in right now with this journey is that business, your business forces you to think about so many different things because how you show up and how you want to evolve. Starting out with 10K is because you know what it was like. Okay, we need this money so that we can get out of survival mode, so we can be able to settle this a little bit, and then so that you can focus on creating from a place of just creating, not from a place of survival, not from a place of you're lacking something, so you have to do something. And unfortunately, that is exactly where everyone is. Now, there is a few of them, or most of the people go to their jobs or do what they do because they need the money, not because they're in love with what they create, or not because they're in love with providing or creating actual solutions that change people's lives. No, they do it because, for so many different reasons, providing for their family. It could be even selfish reasons for just for them so that they can go in trouble because they didn't grow up with any of that. And what I've realized is that usually our spending habits reflect through the things that we grow up lacking. So how we spend teaches you or shows you a pattern that, something that you have to work through or you could, work towards too. So money mindset is completely different. It is, I'm trying to reshape in terms of how I think about money, how I think, how I've always thought that money, I don't deserve money. It doesn't matter how hard I work. I still had that inner thing that's telling me that you don't deserve this, or like you didn't work hard enough to deserve this. You only deserve this extra amount. And when you're on calls with clients, you're literally begging, you're like holding your breath and you're like, oh, maybe let me just throw out that number. Then you close your eyes and then you look on the other side and you wait for them to like say something. You're like, oh, that's a lot. And it's so interesting because you're already expecting that. You're already expecting them saying that it's gonna be like it's a huge number. And then when you even have like a strategy in place and you're like, okay, if they say that they can't afford this, maybe I'm just gonna lower to this, I'm gonna lower to a 2K, I'm gonna lower to 1K. You may think it's strategy, but it's not strategy. It's just coming from a place of like where you feel like whatever you're providing does not have enough value. And yes, we've heard so many people online speaking about this, but it hits differently when when you take time to think about it in your own way. So that's something that I am working on, and it's just completely changed in terms of how I'm showing up for my program and how I'm creating it. Then another thing is productivity. Right now, everyone on this planet, they have 24 hours and no one feels that they have enough hours in the day to produce great quality work for themselves. And I don't blame us because we are literally programmed every single day. We are on our screens, we are on social media. Attention is the new currency. Everyone on social media, content creators, television shows, their main purpose is to is to buy your attention. So whoever comes online and has a better story, a better hook, that's them trying to buy your currency. And when you find yourself that you're not productive enough, or you feel like you're lacking behind, you get off from work and you're like, but I need to catch up with this. Instead of like just choosing to just lay back and you're like, you know what, my brain needs to consume nothing so I can be able to think. Comes back to productivity. Be busy on your laptop, on your phone, hustling, it's like signaling, it signals you that, oh, you know what, I'm being productive. But when you sit down, you're like, what did I work on today that moved a needle in my business, that it's going to move at least revenue in the company, you know? So, and of course, like we have activities that we're working on, or we have things that we have to do in life. Some things are just like errands, like quick things that you do that don't deserve a lot of your attention. So something that you can do in 20 minutes, something replying to emails, responding to your friends, family, whatever it is, right? Those are such simple things to do. You can do them without taking a lot of your attention span. But when it comes to deep work that matters, work that moves the needle in your business, work that moves the needle in your company, it's different. So I've realized that if I were to spend 2 hours working on something that moves the needle in my business, it is so much worth it compared to me feeling like I need to, if I'm working on something, let me multitask to this, or I need to respond to this email. So I've completely changed how productivity is. And I have also a guide or about productivity. But again, it really never gets easy. It really never gets easy up until you reprogram your mind and you're like, hey, we're going to make sure that it's a skill set. It's a skill set to learn how to be productive. It's a skill set. And it does not take months. It just literally starts, it takes probably 2 weeks to master, right? And this is not coming from me. This is coming from some of the podcasts that I've listened to when it comes to productivity, where they say that if you want to train your brain or reprogram your brain again to like producing high quality work, you need to start with just putting out just 20 minutes aside and do deep focus work. You put your phone away and you just practice 20 minutes. And if it happens that within those 20 minutes your mind has wandered somewhere else, you go and repeat the clock again, right? And for you to make sure that you've actually learned this way of reprogramming, it takes about 2 weeks. So if you spend the next 2 weeks just getting 20 minutes in of deep work without distraction, it really helps you to reprogram how you see productivity. And it completely shows that they also spoke about like having a to-do list is like your wish list. So changing that mindset from thinking that, oh, you're having a to-do list, you can change that and say, you know what, I'm having things to do within the day. It's just the program, it's just the schedule, but it does not refine, or it does not change how you show up within the day. I hope I've said that right. So let me rephrase this. So having a to-do list is like a wish list, and that feels draining because when you sit down and you're like, oh, I'm ready to tackle this, I'm ready to tackle that, you actually do not. You spend the day throughout not tackling the things that you've put down on the list, but rather write them somewhere, and you're like, you know what, they just things on the schedule to do, like brushing your teeth, like driving, commuting somewhere, or going to the gym, whatever it is. So have that and just kind of like get them out. I mean, like execute them based on that, not some things that you have to accomplish right away in a specific period of time, right? And also the power of guarding your focus hour. Most people say that some people say that they focus a lot in the evening, but research is backed up that humans, we focus a lot more in the morning when our brains are fresh. We've just woken up, we get some things done in that deep work. So kind of like scheduling your deep work that moves the needle in your business or anywhere else. But right now it's business because it's work. That's where you need to kind of like schedule your time. So productivity has completely changed. I mean, something like that has completely changed how I look at how I show up, and also kind of like how I prioritize my things that I need to do within the day. So every day I need to make sure that I have two most important tasks that move the needle from the relevance of like revenue or admin. So revenue comes first, and then admin comes second, and those are the tasks that I accomplish probably in the afternoons or something like that. So I thought that this could help and find that way. But yeah, so I'm on this journey. I thought I would share this because I felt like it was important. But again, what I would kind of like invite you to question yourself is, how has your upbringing or the beliefs that you have on anything? It could be about money, it could be about productivity, it could be about how you show up, it could be in relationship, it could be about love. Like, I invite you to think about, how has that changed you, how you show up? Is it the right way that you're showing up and you feel at peace with yourself? And if you don't, then that's something that for you to think about, and you see if you could change that or work towards something that you like. Because in life, I feel like everyone wants to be at peace, everyone wants to show up differently, everyone wants to be a good person. And coming from that place, we always in this cycle of learning and becoming better people. So again, thank you so much for listening through, all the rambling and the different things I've talked about. But again, I appreciate you. Please subscribe, like the video if you found this useful and helpful, and see you in tomorrow's video. Cheers.